We are live yet. And we are live on Facebook. It is today, the 27th of July. It's the, let me
oh my God, I
you.
talk about our private consultation is live.
Wait,
oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Makhosi. I'm sorry, Makhosi.
No, it's only now that we're live. Don't worry. Okay.
Oh,
it's the 27th of July, 2021. We are live on Facebook with Makhosi Professor Spirit. Okay. And now I just want to throw in some of your descriptions, Spirit. You are a sex therapist. You are a pharmacist. You are a spiritualist. You are a tantric practitioner. Hey, those that don't know tantra, they're going to find out today. And
yes,
today we are talking spirituality and sexuality, and we're going to talk to you because we want to know how you practice both in the body you're in. And my first question to you, Spirit, let's see your face. Now we're seeing your duke only. Put your camera, Galoko, so we see your face. What are you doing now, Spirit?
I think I want to explain a minute. So you will see my face so that I can hear.
All right. Not ideal, but okay. All right. Give us your pronouns. What are your pronouns?
I'm a he.
You are a he. Yeah? And within sex and gender, we get very specific, you know.
Yeah.
So Wena, what is your gender?
My gender is male.
Your gender is male. And what is your sex?
My sex is intersex.
Your sex is intersex. And what is your sexual orientation?
I think I'm bisexual, but I am attracted to anything that identifies as a woman. It doesn't matter what is between your legs. There can be a penis or a vagina or both.
Oh, I see.
That's my sexual orientation.
That's your sexual orientation. Sometimes they call that pansexual, you know, sometimes, you know.
Yeah, when you apply a certain scope to look at something, if you apply it psychologically, you will come across those terms of pansexual, sapiosexual. But if you look at the terms in another scope, then you're going to come across I'm having fun, I'm just having sex. I mean, in sex, I can put a finger, I can put a tongue, I can put a penis, I can put a vagina. So it's within the context in which we describe our intimacy.
Yes. Okay. Because I want to explore a lot of what you do with your work, I would just like to start off because our intersex persons, most of the time when I've seen intersex persons being interviewed, they haven't been South African. And most of the time, some intersex persons discover late that they were born intersex because sometimes their parents choose to have surgeries on them while they're young, right? I had a friend in, we mustn't see the person there next to you, hey? I had a friend from Durban who said she was a trans woman, and she said she only found out when she was 13 that she was born intersex, because her parents had opted for the surgery to turn her sexual organ, her genitals, to turn them into a penis, ne? So then she started menstruating from her bum. And that's when her parents had to admit to her, but actually, you weren't born a boy. We understand now what you are told to do.
Which is very sad, because if the penis at birth is more, it's above 2 centimeters, it must not be cut. No matter if there's a prevalence of a vagina, because if the penis is above 2 centimeters and the vagina will have a blockage, it will not be penetrable.
Oh.
Yeah, so when it's about intersex,
they must have closed the vagina.
It is chromosomal, it is it is chromosomal, it is physical.
Yeah.
It is never psychological, it is always biological.
Yes. So now
sexual orientation is psychological.
No, I don't actually think it's legal anymore for parents to make decisions for their babies to have surgery. I think what is legal now is you allow your child to be grow up and make a decision later if they want to make a decision as to sex they want.
Yes. Right? That's exactly what happened to me. I don't know if it was the lack of God or what, but I was not mutilated at birth because I was above 2 centimeters.
Yes, fantastic. You know what I mean?
So as time goes on, they need to.
Yes. So now, I mean, you know, we met you when you came to Bloemfontein at the Nude Village. Ne? You had your art exhibition up, you know, and I was curious, you know, I was curious about you. I was like, here is an intersex person who is turning nude pictures of themselves into art. Tell us the inspiration around using your nude body and turning it into art. What kind of message are you trying to have and what are you communicating with us?
I'm trying to pass on the messages of the ancestors that this is a gift. This is a calling. It's only a few of the people who can experience this. And they need to be open. It was simply passing a message as a spiritual person.
Because I mean, there's a lot of shame and guilt.
Exactly. They wanted me to get rid of the shame. For people to understand, because at the back, people are doing things with what if light was to come to them, people will rather commit suicide. So we need to find a balance of understanding this thing psychologically, spiritually, physically, and all those things. Why am I behaving this way? So
you have a gift, ne? It's a rare gift, and I understand some intersex bodies. I spoke to a doctor a while back, and I said someone can be completely intersex in the sense that externally you have your penis, you've got your vagina, and even internally you can have reproductive organs whereby you can get pregnant and you can also make someone pregnant. Are you completely intersex? Can you actually get pregnant and can you make somebody pregnant as well?
I have a child
that you gave birth to, or that somebody else gave birth
the partner.
Your partner gave birth.
Yeah.
Oh my, I didn't know that. How old is your child? How old are you?
2 years and I am 34. After the process we went for the DNA and stuff, and it came back positive, 99.99%. And then I tried after, but it never happened.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it depends on the moon, the universe, if you are chosen to be a parent, it's not something that you have sex and you become a parent. It's that's why I always go back to being, are you chosen to be in this path of parenthood and sexuality and orgasms and masterhood and all those things? You see it? Because miraculous things happen.
Yeah. So tell me, what is your take on asexual people? Can somebody be completely not interested in sex? And can that be a healthy preference? Or does it always come from trauma?
function, DNA code.
Oh dear.
DNA code of the history. That's why intersex, because the DNA code is designed. I carry a DNA code.
Yes, tell us about that.
Yeah, DNA code is something you carry in your blood. You may not know, because this intersex thing is never revealed. You can find out your mother is intersex. You may never know. You can find out your great-grandfather. It's like a gift.
Okay, all right.
Psychology and science shows us that male and female exist in one body, and there's a dominant. And science also shows us that from the beginning of the premise of a fetus, it starts off as female and projects to male, and then it mutates into a human being. So that is within us. That is within the process.
Okay, sorry. Actually, we missed each other.
So there's still a lot more. Yeah.
Let me continue with what you are saying. So what are the common, have you got an intersex community, a support group? Because with Lgbti organizations, we always try and invite intersex persons, but because sometimes they feel isolated and they feel misunderstood, they often don't disclose.
They are there, but they will never speak because society has rejected them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are there. They are masking as gays and lesbians. But they are not.
So what does your ID say on your gender marker?
It says female.
Okay. So also, when you now are attracted to persons that identify as women, ne? Do you only prefer to have a particular type of sex? And you can answer that as graphically as you prefer.
I prefer identification. Not the genetical structure.
Oh, so a trans woman would be attracted to a trans woman who's got a penis.
Of course. I'm attracted to the feminine divine.
Okay, all right. So
I hope it makes sense to you.
It does make sense, because now we're wondering, Uba, what kind of sex do you like? Do you always prefer to be the
because
don't
remember,
let us see that. So now, remember, do you always prefer to be the penetrator, or do you don't mind also being penetrated?
Okay, let me just exit the taxi. Okay. Remember, there's no hole to penetrate.
There's no way to penetrate.
Yes, there's no hole to penetrate.
There's no rule.
Yes, the hole is blocked by a bone.
Oh, what? Say it again. I'm completely maybe not hearing you.
There is a structure of the vagina, but the hole is impenetrable.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's an ambiguous sexuality.
All right. I see.
Yes.
Okay. All right. No, that was so then you've never menstruated then, you know.
No.
Oh, I see. All right. Okay, no, that's great. So let's get into another topic. Let's talk about spirituality.
Because the people want to ask, what is the centimeters of the penis? Does it erect? Does it ejaculate? Like, those are the questions.
Yes. So you obviously, if you use your penis to
penetrate.
Yeah, do you get erect?
Yes.
And you penetrate.
Yeah.
and also you ejaculate because you've had a child. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you seeing these questions on Facebook? Where, let's see what
I'm strictly on Zoom.
Okay, let's see. In some African households, let's see now, what's it doing? I've got a question here from Esther. What is this thing doing now? Sorry.
Forgive me, guys. I'm having an interview here about the sex things.
In some African households, it is seen as a curse. So how do we protect the children who grow up in households where our parents are uneducated on this? That's a good question.
Yeah. What I can say, you can hear me clearly, ne?
Yes.
It's because we like to normalize things. So the minute we normalize things, we tend to miss the godly exceptions and miracles.
Okay.
Extraordinary children who did not choose to be this way, but they also hold a conversation with God to say, but you said there's this and that, but why am I in the middle? It's like if you watch Marvel movies, why do I have superpowers?
Yeah. No, I hear because
the movie, we look at the movie, looking at the whole scenario. How did this person acquire and deserve the powers?
Yeah.
So it's a deep issue that even the doctors, they need to be spiritually acclaimed to deeply understand, because most doctors, they say this is a dysphoria. This person is crazy.
No, the intersex is a healthy sex organ, and it's really unfair for it to be seen as as a dysfunctional sex.
I mean, Nosana, if you have a vagina and you don't want your vagina to be penetrated, we need to look at that. We can't say you are sick.
Yeah, exactly.
If you are this person and you don't want to be fondled around that area, I mean, we need to understand that the issue is not your behavior. The issue is, why do you behave this way? Why are you not attracted to men? Why do you like to masturbate? Why you like to watch porn? Why you are attracted to other ladies? Why? It's not about what you are doing. Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
That is what we need. As a psychologist, I need to look at, why are you doing this behavior?
Yeah.
Because this is how pathology arises.
Yes. So also
behavior.
Yes. So if you're going to identify as a divine being, as actually carrying a gift, an ancient gift, are you going to identify that as a spiritual calling? And how do you practice that spiritual calling?
First of all, being intersex is a spiritual calling because you are none of the average. If you are born with a penis and a vagina, and something is elongated, maybe the clitoris is protruding into being a vagina, then that means you are different from everybody. And if you, as a woman, you are feeling secret inside, you're not like a woman, you don't want the penis to, or the finger to penetrate your vagina, then there are possibilities that you could be transgender, where you want to transition to the next stage of your momentum. So it always goes with analysis. So, but for me, calling, you're called to be, a calling simply means coming out of your shell into something else and teaching.
Yeah.
If you cut your breast, it means we must discuss how, if myself, I want to cut my breast, how must I function? If somebody wants to cut their penis or their vagina, how must they do?
Yeah. So you've got breasts, am I right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm so proud of you because you are so open. You are in public transport, you're in a taxi, and people are hearing this conversation, and you are open like that. You are not concerned about people who may feel however about witnessing this. Is that part of your work? Is that your teaching to kind of be as open as possible?
Remember, I've photographed over 400 people naked.
Yeah.
And look, no matter where I am, you never know who has a vagina or a penis. We may behave differently, but down there we don't know. we may have a 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, or vagina or penis, but we may never know. That's my job. I'm the kind of person who people see in the dark. So exactly.
Tell us, Spirit, you host retreats, am I right?
Yes.
And at these retreats, there's tarot and energy interpretation, there's Reiki healing, there's chakra unblocking, and there's readings. And I'm sure some people who don't understand, I mean, alternative spirituality, it only just recently became popular. I think they call it new age. They call it new age.
Allow me to explain it and expand it.
Yes.
When we speak about, I'll start at the bottom, tantric practicing.
Yes.
It talks about the connection, the deeper connection between two lovers. We are looking beyond orgasm. We are looking into the super mercy, engraving mercy into our sexual endeavors, having a meaningful life. That is tantric practicing. I'm blocking sexual chakras, the heart chakras, and stuff like that. And then we have Reiki healing. Reiki healing talks to your spirit, your health, your success, your wealth, where you are supposed to be, the plans you need to do, the relationships you need to be in. So I'm sorry to be talking the prices, but it's 250 per a reading. We know you can ask any questions. We have your guide, you have your ancestors. You can look deeply into what is causing an obstacle, and we solve that. Yeah, and then energy healing is focused on looking at you holistically as a person, spiritually, emotionally, physically. What do we need to unblock? Because everything is energy. We have 150 energies around us, and within us we have 7 dominant chakras. So if these 7 dominant chakras are blocked in your life, we need to unblock them. We need to use muti to balance them inside, and we need to use activities that are going to help you. You see it, Makhosi?
No, they are over.
So it is according to your guides and your ancestors and the wisdom of God.
Yeah.
Because in spirituality, we can't speculate. We need to ask.
Yeah.
Thokoza
Kamaku. Jonga ke, ne? When it comes to the sex therapy part, ne? You also give guidance to couples and single people about any questions that they may have according to their sex life and their own sexuality. What kind of service do you have there?
We need to look at the kind of problem that the client is having. It can be neurological. Maybe the client is suffering with erectile dysfunction, or is struggling with early ejaculation. They orgasm quickly. They see the vagina, they try to enter the vagina, but they are coming.
Yeah.
So you see that is a problem. So there are mechanisms that we need to use. And you've also found that most men, they don't like the size of the penis. So we need to look at techniques of orgasm, how to understand the female body, because it's like 100 candles to light. How do you satisfy it? Because there's a lot of bisexual women who like.
What's happening? You're frozen over there. Okay, let's just wait for Spirit to come back to us. I've got some questions here. Mosa Diwa Rapone asks us who we are interviewing. We are interviewing Makhosi Spirit, Professor, sex therapist.
Yeah, you managed to hear me.
Okay, you're back. Hey? Carry on. You were saying something. You were talking about if a person needs counseling.
With sexual dysfunctions, we need to look at the neurological, the psychological, the emotion, the physical. Because you can find that a man is struggling with erectile dysfunction because there are holes in the penis. So when the blood transfusion takes place, they can't, the penis cannot hold the erection. It means it's a physical, there are leakages. But also you can find that I'm going to town, North town.
Town.
Are you in the wrong taxi?
Yeah, let me just sort it. I will call you back. I'll call you back. I'll join the group. Which taxi must I go to town?
I'm so sorry you're experiencing this now, but we'll stay and wait for you. The reason why I love Spirit so much is because Spirit is so open, you know what I mean? And
that side, I'll turn on the other road. All right, excellent.
All right. And you're not even upset. I would be so upset if I find out later I'm going in the wrong direction. And thanks for taking the interview, even though you haven't reached home. Appreciate that. Spirit.
There's this taxi thing. I'll call you back. Oh, okay.
It's live on Facebook, okay? So
I'll call you back. I'll call you back now.
I'm gonna wait for you.
Please,
with Archie Spirit. And Spirit is also a pharmacist working at a chemist, and you've also got you're still studying, or you're going to tell us when it comes to your licensing, dispensing medicine, chemical medicine.
Sorry, in the interview in the TV, can I continue? In the interview in the TV, can I continue? No problem. Okay.
You have to get permission from the taxi driver. Are you back?
I'm back. Let me just. I'm back.
Thank you. You're back. So tell us also, I just want people to be aware of some of your formal work, né? That you actually are a pharmacist, né? Chemistry, science.
Pharmacy, sex therapist, I'm a tantric practitioner.
Yes, I want to talk more about pharmacy. So does that mean, because we work with the transgender community, that you know how to make pills, how to put in components that make like a tablet?
Yes, it's an injection.
Which injection are you talking about? I'm just asking about anyone. Can you create?
There's a manufacturer, because I'm a pharmacist.
Yes.
I don't manufacture. So, but if my job description was in the manufacturing business, I would manufacture it. But in pharmacy, there's manufacturing, supplier, and distribution.
Yeah.
So I'm in the distribution. I order a full package, and then I inject the patient.
Yeah. So you know what chemicals and
exactly the dosages.
Like for example, our transgender clients, they want to take hormone therapy treatment. They call it hormone replacement therapy, but for the transgender community, we'll be calling it hormone affirming.
I am the person to help them with the dosage.
You can take the blood and then you can measure somebody's testosterone or
the progress. Because there are people who must be injected yearly, and there are people who must be injected within 3 months and 6 months. So once we have the antigen test, like how can I put it, the specimen. Once we have the specimen of the person, because you can find that the specimen can talk about this person. For example, I'm just making a layman example. This person is 60% male. So we know where we can take it from. And this person is 70% male or 40%. So that's how dosages are manufactured. You can find that already you are intersex by birth. So the dosage must be adjusted. But if you're completely female, there's a certain dosage. You get what I'm saying?
Yes. And have you had clients that you've had that you've assisted when it comes to injecting them with hormones?
Yes, of course. But this I have clients I've injected, but these clients are very rare, because this thing of transitioning and cosmetic is not applicable.
How?
There are some certain requirements that you must see a psychologist for 2 years, a psychologist for a psychiatrist, and then you can see the pharmacist.
Yeah, no, I hear you. No, we as an organization, we refer clients to the endocrine clinic, and they have consultations, with psychologists, and they get a health examination, because sometimes going on the hormones, it may interfere with you in another area of health. You know what I mean? So does it happen that people, so you don't have a lot of examples of people, if you say it's rare, that, because I was going to ask example, have people change their minds after starting the therapy because they don't like how it's physiologically changing them?
You know how this thing works, ne? There needs to be, what do you want? Because there are people who want to replace trauma with medicine and transitioning. That is why a psychologist and a psychiatrist has to be involved, so that we can determine the root cause.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Because a lot of people want to hide trauma under a decision and say this is not a dysphoria, but that's why we need to investigate.
Yeah.
Someone can have 7 children and say, I want to transition. What do we talk? We need to talk about the enjoyment between them creating on the babies, the patience, we need to examine it. It's not just an escape or we need to tell if is it genuine.
Yeah.
And when people, the information reveals that this is not genuine, this is a trauma.
Yeah.
They feel like they need to attack the psychologist or the psychiatrist.
Sure.
But if you explain, like the way you're explaining, I don't want to transition, but I have a deep issue with 1, 2, 3. Then it can be put on the table. But don't come with something that you are not.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because psychologists are trained to know not the symptom, but the root cause. Cosmetic surgery is there. We know it.
Yeah.
Don't try to mask it as something else. Speak it as it is. I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm willing to pay. That's all.
So do you have a community that you're working with? Are you working with any LGBTI organizations?
I'm working with human beings. I have over 10,000 LGBTI followers, 10,000 heteronormativity, but we're working with spiritually inclined people who want to find the truth about their calling, about their purpose, their gift, despite their livelihood agendas, despite their sexuality, their decisions and what, but the greater purpose.
Yeah. So, man, what are some of the symptoms of somebody who actually maybe has a spiritual calling and they are confusing that spiritual calling with as sexual behavior? Let me give you an example. I don't even know even if this example exists. Ne?
No,
Is
it does.
Okay?
You find that people around you never fall sick. Number 1.
What?
Number 2, you dream, everything you dream comes true. Number 3, you are always sad. You want to be alone because angels and ancestors, they don't want to be in a group of people. And you'll find that people will always want to discourage your ideas. You want to start a certain idea and they will tell you, I know, it won't work. It's a sign of this is going to succeed.
Okay, but the example that I wanted to kind of make was, say for example, Aditi, we all sexual beings, ne? And then maybe has it ever happened that a person, because there's a lot of people that have twasat, or I know some examples that they are either bisexual or that kind of thing. Can a person act out in a sexual manner before they respond to a spiritual calling, either by having a lot of sexual partners, or
the person must first start with acceptance that I'm a deviant person.
You're a what person?
A deviant.
Deviant.
Remember,
a negative word.
Remember, heteronormativity is not normal. It's just common.
I love it when you say that. Yeah.
Yeah, because we may treat it as normal, but it's not normal. It's just common. Many people have it.
Yeah.
So that doesn't exclude other existences. The world is not black and white.
Yeah. So because the other question I had for you earlier was, what if you decide you identify as asexual and you don't want to be sexual with people?
You are chosen.
Has it happened that, sorry?
No, it's a gift. You are chosen because we are sexual beings. There's no way you are not going to be sexual unless you are chosen for purification of the spirit. Remember, in the olden times, specific virgins were chosen to remain pure. So in the modern translation,
when they later sacrificed or thrown in the fire or something.
Makhosi?
When they later sacrificed or something, those virgins.
No, it is something that is not recorded, but within the healer's tradition, there's a certain purity that is needed. There are people who will be pansexual and they will refrain, and asexual. Pansexual and asexual, you start as pansexual and you move to asexual, because as pansexual, you see that I actually like the mind, but I don't like anything else. Actually, pansexual people and sapiosexual people, they must not involve the sex in the relationship, because it's meant to be a pure energy exchange.
This is the thing, because in certain spirituality,
if you are not sexual and if you feel attracted to a woman but you know you are straight, then you must know that it is not meant to be intimate. It's the acknowledgement of that energy.
Because there's certain spiritualities that say that to have a partner, a life partner, is to actually find a connection with somebody that allows you to actually find a higher connection with the Creator, with God, right? Then those spiritualities actually say that it's necessary for that. And then
Can you hear me?
That they're hooting. In terms of the hooting. But let's see what they're asking on Facebook. There aren't really more questions for you. But what else do you want to add to this conversation that I may not be asking you? Hey, Spirit. We've lost Spirit. There, she's back. Diyabuza ke. Hey, unbiza Makhosi. You know, that's new for me. This is not Makhosi. Then I'm the woman. That's the woman.
You are a Makhosi. You are a Makhosi. Let's not.
How am I a Makhosi? What does that mean?
You are also a Makhosi. We will get into that privately between me and you.
So, what else can we be sharing in this conversation? You're proudly intersex. We've got the public that is not used to intersex people speaking openly. So if you've got anything to share for intersex people that the public just needs to be aware of, what is that?
Intersex people are chosen by God to display that our mentality is not the same as God mentality, number one. And then number two, intersex is challenging God on the notion of male and female. And number three, intersex, it questions you, are you really female or male?
Yeah.
And intersex must be acknowledged as the third sex.
Yes. Yes.
Because nothing fits into its description. How are you getting fully developing as Kanjani? I mean, how do we explain that?
Yeah.
How are you a fully fleshed vagina? I mean, what's up with that?
Yeah. Yeah. So
when a child is born with ambiguity in the genitals, we need to let it. We can't mutilate, because the way we are built, it changes over time. You can develop into male or female, or intersex fully, like I am.
Yes. But do you maybe want to change your gender marker? Are you happy with your gender? If you identify as male and your ID says female,
I'm happy with I'm happy with the explanations, the intriguing, the wow. If it goes away, it wouldn't define me.
I see. I see. No, because a lot of people want their gender description and their own gender identity to match the sex description. So it's interesting that when you are happy with your gender identity, your sex identity being opposite, because that makes you unique.
I love it down there. I love my sex. I love it down there. And I don't know, it has these privileges I can't explain. It is the female and male benefits. Because the appearance seduction can work. But the intimacy is so secluded that it becomes a secret.
Yeah. So when sometimes you meet somebody new and they don't know about you, your how you look,
you have to disclose.
You have to disclose first, yeah?
You have to disclose and they will see it. Remember, this thing stand up.
Yeah.
This thing, it's not like the other part. It has a mind of its own, and it is visible. It's a visible sexual organ.
Yeah, yeah. So you mature enough to have that conversation, and and then you have sex with the different kinds of female identifying bodies.
Both men and female.
Yeah. I think you're amazing. I think you're incredible, Makhosi. And thank you so very much for sharing this very special part of yourself that you know is unique, that you know is a gift. And people are fearful of. People
always dive into the secret. You never want a shallow conversation. You always drive me.
No, man, because I can't imagine. Have you always been this confident when you were growing up, like as a child, and then when you were a teenager, your adolescent years? Didn't you have like,
I was ashamed. I was ashamed. I was ashamed to say, this thing looks like this, but the actual fact is like this. So you are a deception.
So how were your school years? Like, how was it?
No, what is a virgin? I started having sex in varsity.
Okay.
No one knew anything. No one.
Yeah.
And even now they are texting me to say, like, how come you never said anything? Because someone was finding me. I tell them that it was not the time.
Also, they knew you as a girl at school. You wore girls' uniform, tunic.
I've always pretended to be one.
Pretended to be a girl.
But I remember my first sexual experience. It was so awkward because there's something to explain.
Yeah. And it was with a woman.
Oh, you can't. Oh, okay. Yeah, you see, so there's always has to be something to explain, and then. So you as a human being, you just don't want to deal with that.
So did you have sex with a woman for the first time as a lesbian woman?
I slept with many men and women.
And your first time was with?
A woman.
Ah, all right. So you also like anal sex, hey?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, for everybody. So, thank you once again. This is such an exciting conversation, but I don't want to keep it too long. Thank you so much, even though you were en route, even though there was a taxi, and you so like as a taxi driver.
I don't even want to know what the television people are gonna think. But one thing I can say is, Makhosi recommend me for the tarot reading.
Okay. I'm gonna have one.
My consultation is 250. We find out about life, career, all those kinds of things.
Yeah. No. now that I showed you that I've had top surgery, I'm very curious about a reading by Tetukti in which direction, like you're saying. But this is not about me. We're gonna do that later.
I also need to have that top. How much did you pay, or how did you do it?
We're not having the conversation now. We're not having the conversation now. Let's finish this one. We're going to continue afterwards, and we're going to talk about all of that. Ne? But thank you so very much, Gakona. Just alert me via WhatsApp when you're home so we can carry on talking. But for now, I'd just like to let you go. Thank you so much for your time, Makhosi. Siyavuma tamaku.
Okay, send me the link so that I can watch the conversation myself.
All right.
Okay, Makhosi.
Okay, bye. Ciao.